Hey, how y'all doing? Who we got up in here already? Happy Sag season. So we got Katrina, what's up? Lisette, hey Trey, hey lady, hey Renee, what's up, Javion? Hey Eva. We got Angela up in here. I talk sneakers, fly souls, what's up? Hey Jerry, how you doing? Hey Indigo. Right. Thank you, Indigo. Who else we got? Velvet, what's up, Velvet? Hey Ricardo. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Short Lady 82. What's up, Ass Mahogany? Hey, Eccentric. You know you're everything I do. I'm listening to some Jodeci. Hey, Elizabeth. Do what you want me to. Hey, Phyllis. What's up? Get on my knees for you. Sagittarius season. Yes, here we go. I'm kind of amped. Hey, Davey. Happy birthday. Wait a minute, not me. You wishing me a happy birthday? Thank you. What's up, Mimi? How you doing? Happy birthday to all the Sages. Wait a minute, you're saying it's buffering? All right, let me straighten my act up. Oh man, you know what? My internet is acting kind of slow. It's weird. Let me know if it stops buffering. Yes, it's Sag season. I wish I could hear y'all. YouTube needs to start doing it where people can like chime in and I can hear y'all because I feel kind of like left out of the loop. I wish y'all could I wish there was a line y'all could call up and all that stuff. So we got 28 people. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Eccentric Sage. We got 28 people up in here so far, 10 likes. So as you come in, can you hit that like button? Thank you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, y'all. Yes, thank you, Fly Lily. Oh, y'all making me feel special. So yeah, I turn 44 tomorrow. But my solar return occurred today. So I got my solar return chart. Where is it at? Where's my solar return chart? So I was just going to talk about my solar return chart. Here it is right here. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But it makes sense already. Hey, Ethereal. Hey, Drap. Hey, Cameron. I was hoping I would see you. Hey, Sam. Is it still buffering? Why I gotta be buffering on the eve of my birthday? What the hell? Let me close out this other. Well, okay. Before I close out this window, I'm gonna post this link because I am having a New Year's Eve party, December 31st, and it's going to be my second annual New Year's Eve online party. That is. So if you don't got nothing to do, join me for my New Year's Eve party. It's going to be December 31st. DEN 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be, I think, on a Tuesday night. So I'm sure a lot of y'all ain't going out. So if you want something to do, get your drinks. Wait a minute, I thought I shut this off. Get your drinks, get your snacks, and join me on Zoom online conferencing so we could get it on and pop it. So we're going to be discussing. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. For some reason, my phone is stuck. That could be why it's buffering. My phone's been acting up lately. Hold on. That is so weird. Bear with me. Wow, now I can't even. My phone has been acting up for the past. Don't tell me I'm going to need a new phone. Let me see if I could just shut this phone off. All right. Power off and restart. That's crazy. Okay. So it's not buffering for you either? Okay, that's what's up. So how did y'all Thanksgiving go? Did anybody, celebrate Thanksgiving? Did you go to family's house? Was there any Thanksgiving drama? I really want to know about the drama. Did anything crazy happen with your crazy ass uncle or your crazy cousin? Oh, good. I'm glad you could see me. Hey, Katrina. I still hear it. Wait a minute. That is so weird. It's okay. Finally, it turned off. Wow. So you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving fly? Did anybody cook? I cooked, but it was just for me and my daughter. Ricardo said family didn't show up. It's a rift in the family, but we made the best. Okay. We could talk about that tonight too, because I do want to talk. I do want to get philosophical, and that's very Sagittarius season. I do want to get philosophical on a number of subjects, like family. Like, let's get on the family thing for a minute, because number one, family, they tend to have that sense of entitlement. Hey, wellness, thank you so much, wellness. They tend to have this sense of entitlement, a lot of family members, that is, to your life, where it's almost like you're obligated to do certain things just because it's family. And as a Sagittarius, I'm not, first of all, Sagittarius, we don't like being told what to do. So if we feel like we're being pressured to do something against our will, if we feel like we are just having to go along to get along simply because it's tradition, a lot of times, if we're not feeling it, we may not show up. Or if we do, we're going to do it begrudgingly, and then we're going to leave early or whatever like that, unless we really like you. So that whole family thing, and the interesting thing, and I will be doing some comparisons with Sagittarius and the other signs. Hey, Siobhan. Hey, Akeda. How you doing? So Sagittarius and Cancer, Cancer rules family. Sagittarius rules freedom, that whole independence, expanding your horizon. But Sagittarius and Cancer clash. They do not get along well in terms of the signs. Just when you're dealing with the signs alone, they form a quincunx aspect, and that can be rather challenging to deal with. So it makes a lot of sense with Sag and family. So I'm one of them Sagittarius where I love my family to death, don't get me wrong, but just doing the family thing for the sake of it is kind of, that gets on my nerves sometimes. And sometimes, you might even feel like if you can't afford to, go certain places to be with family, they still looking at you like, well, you should have made a way and all this type of stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just not the type that's going to be all about, okay, we always have to do this family reunion, and we always got to do this together, and we always got to do that together. And I know sometimes I get on my family's nerves for being like that. Like, I could be very distant at times, but again, like, don't misconstrue my distance for lack of love, because at the end of the day, Sagittarius has a big heart. Like, when it comes to the heart, like Leo, Cancer, and I'll say Sagittarius, they have the biggest hearts. So, well, no, let me throw Pisces in there too. I'm gonna throw Pisces, but sometimes Pisces heart kind of goes to a little bit too far. Like, they loving little like lizards and shit like that. But Sag has one of the biggest hearts out of the zodiac. But we can love from afar. That's one thing you got to keep in mind with Sagittarius. And it does, and we don't always have to pick up the phone and check up on you, or you don't always have to pick up the phone and check up on us. We're cool. And just because we have that distance, whether it's physical or emotional, doesn't mean that we care about you any less. Doesn't mean that we don't love you. Hey, Gigi, you a Sag? That's what's up. Happy birthday, Sag. Hey, Pisces moon. So do y'all feel me on that? Sometimes, with that whole family thing, sometimes it could be a bit too much, where like family could go too far. Like, where's the limit with family at the end of the day? Ricardo said, I haven't talked to my sister in over a year because she refused to come to my wedding. What's her sign, Ricardo? And why did she refuse to come to your wedding? She don't like your wife. And family could really contribute to the breakup of a relationship, a divorce. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, y'all. But yeah, family can really interfere. The whole thing with the in-laws and all that type of stuff. Karen said, feeling entitled to your time and prioritization. Exactly. Adrian said, yes, I agree. Sag moon here. Supreme Goddess 12-8. Happy birthday, Supreme Goddess. Let's go, Sagittarius. That's what I'm talking about. Damien said, I don't have a relationship with my dad at all. He's an Aquarius. Mimi said, we Sagittarians don't want to feel obligated to do stuff just because we so like our freedom. That is so true. Like, freedom is so important to me. Hey, Dana, thank you so much. Freedom is so important to me, and I know that's true for most Sagittarians. But are there any Sagittarians up in here that has a hard time being free? Hey, Ramon, thank you so much. Any Sagittarius in here, and that would include Sag rising, Sag moon, Sag sun. Anybody have a problem exercising their freedom right now? So, because we got to talk about what you're going to do about that, because Sag is meant to be free. I was so much about freedom that when I was little, I hated the fact that horses couldn't just be wild and run free. And, you know, horses are ruled by Sagittarius. So I would look at a horse with its bridle on and its saddle on. I would feel sorry for it. And I'd be like, why can't they just let the horses run free? They don't want somebody riding on their back and all this stuff. But it wasn't until I got older that I really understand that horses very do serve their purpose, and they work hand in hand with humans. Like, they're one of the best animal type companions a human can have, because they could do so much for humans, especially in terms of travel. But yeah, back in the day, I was so much about freedom that I didn't even want horses to be ridden. I just wanted them to be able to run wild and free. Hey, Tanya, what's up? New Mood said, I'm a Capricorn with Sagittarius rising and in Venus with a Taurus moon. Supreme Goddess said, I'm struggling with that since having my son. So, Supreme, you're a Sag and your son is kind of keeping you from being free. Children will definitely do that. Children will definitely do that. Ramon said, my best friend is a Sagittarius. He's a little bit too free. Yeah, sometimes it could go too far. Siobhan says, Sag rising, I need freedom. I have been feeling caged in, and I've been feeling somewhat kind of way. Well, we going to have to change that for 2020, Siobhan, because that's a sad thing when a Sagittarius can't be free like they want to be. I used to go through it when I would have these jobs, and it would kill me. Like, I would be one of the best employees, but I would be dying inside because I didn't like the fact that I had to be told when to come into work and when to leave. And there was some jobs where I had to be told when to take a lunch. And a lot of my jobs, I wouldn't want to have to take a lunch. So I would be like, okay, why, if I don't take a lunch, can I leave an hour early? I was that type of like freedom type of chick. And of course, most of the time they would say no. And they would give me this whole song and dance like, oh no, everybody needs to take a lunch because you need, I remember one time my manager even had the nerve to say, you need your nutrients. I'm like, I'm not a child. Like, if I don't want to eat, I don't have to. But yeah, I didn't like the mind fucks that these employers be trying to play on you. I didn't even like the fact, I'll tell you that one of my biggest pet peeves, and usually they do this at these big corporations you work for, where they be having these team builder days, and then everybody got to meet in an auditorium or meet in this one building, and then either the CEO or the president of the company, he's always acting like he's running a football. You know what I know y'all know what I'm talking about. He's acting like he's this cool dude. He has on sneakers and jeans, but a business jacket, and he's all like, "Yeah, we got to take our sales all the way," and all this type of stuff. And they'll try to convince you how important you are to the company. You know, you are an integral part of the company, so you know it matters from the top down, and all this. And I'm like, I just be looking at the whole thing like, I am so not for this. So yeah, I've never been that type of like team player, even though I can be a team player. I just don't like that whole feeling like I'm in high school again. And I gotta, you know, listen to what the teacher or the principal gotta say. Javon said, every job I've been on, they would put me on a chokehold, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter. Ethereal says Sagittarius ain't the company man type in my experience. Demi said, yes, I was stuck working all day, 12 noon till 9 p.m. Never will put me in a morning shift, so I quit. Hell yeah, we will quit a job. Hell yeah, we will try to make it work. We really will. But then it'll get to a point where it's just like, I'm done. And when we're done, we're done. And there's really no convincing. It doesn't matter like how much you're getting paid. None of that. Cameron said, I even skip out on our luncheons or parties because I feel it's corny, right? Right? Or how they would have Jeans Day. That's another thing that would piss me off. Like how companies be having Jeans Day, or they'll have like black or T-shirt day. Oh, you could wear your T-shirt today. It's like, again, they're treating you like children. You know, no offense to people that got to work these jobs and all that. I certainly had to do it. But for those that feel like they're dying inside when they got to show up to these types of jobs, 2020 is coming. It's time to, you know, flip the script on yourself and get something that really speaks to your soul. Because I strongly believe not selling your soul. Speaking of selling your soul, Jupiter is in Capricorn, y'all. We are going to be talking about Jupiter and Capricorn. Jupiter and Capricorn, that's the selling your soul Jupiter, just so you know. So, yeah, like, I was just never the type to just be all about, you know, oh, if I do this, if I do that, I'll start making this amount of money per year. Cameron said, and girl, our CEO asked us all to pray at them. Rahbinah, it's awful. Oh my God, yeah. Cindy said, and then they make you feel guilty when you didn't wear jeans. Y'all, you'll even have coworkers saying, why didn't you wear jeans today? Ever see that movie, Office Space? Like, that movie is real. Hey, my Bills, what's up? Yes, finally Sag season. I'm feeling so upbeat. But then that Jupiter and Capricorn, it's like a tug of war, because the Sagittarius sun makes me want to be all like, yay. But then Jupiter and Capricorn is like, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to lose weight. I need to do this. Like, as soon as Jupiter entered Capricorn, I started to get really kind of like in this somber mood. Like, you got a lot of work to do. Ramon said, my Sagittarius homeboy buys $1,000 belts, Balenciaga, ridiculous. Yup, Sag got expensive taste. A lot of times they got the champagne taste on a beer budget, but they'll make it work. Phyllis Glenn said, by North Node is in Sagittarius. That might explain why I'm empathetic. I don't know. I just guess. Yup, Justice said, Jupiter, when in the Capricorn, is in the fall. Yes, it is. So it's not a good placement for Jupiter. Cameron said, or potlucks. Yeah, them potlucks. I never cook for them or bring anything. And then if you don't bring nothing, they be looking at you like, you better not eat something if you didn't bring it. But I've seen plenty of people where they didn't bring nothing. They're still stuffing their face. And then somebody always bringing some nasty looking dish that nobody touches. Always. Somebody's always bringing in a whole crock pot. Like, if you think about it, all of these jobs are the same. Like, especially these office positions. You could go to different states and they're all going to have the same themes. These potlucks with the dish that nobody touches, nobody eats. You want to have that, you know, that real upbeat coworker that gets on everybody's nerves. It's like 7 a.m. in the morning, Monday morning, and she's all like, hi, how was your weekend? Oh my God, yeah, are you going in? Yeah, and you're like, shut the hell up. I'm just trying to wake up. You got the people that will steal your lunch out of the refrigerator. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. So all y'all people that have worked in office environments, you know that there's this running thing with other employees, coworkers stealing people's lunch. What signs would be more likely to steal somebody's lunch? Because to me, like, that takes a lot of guts and nerves and balls. And why would you want to do that anyway? And why would you feel good about yourself doing that shit? Of course, Akeda said Pisces. Any other signs that would steal somebody's lunch out the refrigerator? Cindy said Taurus. Mimi said Taurus. Demi said Scorpio. Damn, a lot of people are saying Taurus. Siobhan said Taurus. Fly said Taurus. My bills paid said Taurus. Letitia said Cancer. Lisette, Pisces. Justin said Gemini. I was thinking Gemini too, Justin. Taurus. Phyllis said, I could see Taurus too, because Taurus can't resist. Tracy said, hell no, not Taurus. Cameron said Taurus in the 11th, so I would say Cancer. Tracy said, we are picky. Mimi said Cancer. What about Aries? I could see Aries doing it. because Aries is very impulsive. So especially if Aries is very hungry and if nobody's looking, I could see Aries, you know, swiping something real quick. And, you know, they might have something in Pisces in their chart anyway. Akeda said, Gemini will take the small stuff. Yes, not a crime. I was thinking that like they'll take a soda or something. Jamie said, Aries are bold. Phyllis said, girl, my grandson a mess. Monique said, not this Aries. Dana said, I had my lunch stolen out the fridge, and that was the point I stopped putting my lunch in the fridge. That's what I mean. All these office jobs got the same types of people. It's like it's the same shit wherever you go. And then, you know, the deeper you get into astrology, you'll be able to pick out in the office who's the Scorpio, who's the Leo, and then, you know, you'll start just asking right up front with the new person that comes in, what's your sign? Because you got to know how to deal with this motherfucker. You be like, oh, you wanted them Geminis, okay. And then, you know, okay, this person gonna keep on coming up to my desk, goddamn. And be like, oh, you one of them Libras? Oh, okay, you gonna be all up in the boss's face, learning every damn company policy and everything, checking on everybody, making sure they doing the right thing, and you're gonna be so scared of like making the wrong decision and all this type of stuff. You're gonna have to be in training for an extra week because you're so damn indecisive about what you're supposed to be doing when you get on the sales floor. Tanya said brown nose. Oh, you one of them Cancers. Okay, you gonna be missing work about 3 days out of every month, talking about you sick or you hurt yourself. And then the times where you are in the office, we gonna be hearing you snacking on food all damn day long. Ants crawling around your desk because there's crumbs everywhere and shit. Tracy said, fact. Tracy said, my Leo manager slams the desk when he mad. Of course he does. Justin said, I have Taurus in the 10th and my new manager is a Taurus. Go figure. Oh, there it is. A lot of times your boss, manager, supervisor will have the sign. They'll have heavy energy in that sign that's in your 10th house, whether it's their sun, their moon, their ascendant, Mercury. Demi said, all the Cancers I work with cried at their desks. My Bill said, too many Virgos where I work, all about them rules and policies. Yes. And then you got to deal with Virgo being all stressed out on a day-to-day basis. Oh my God, there's no paper there's no more paper left for the copier machine. Oh my God, did anybody order paper? It's like, oh my God, they make a big deal out of littlest things. Hey, Amazonian goddess. You got the Pisces coworker that brings her service dog to work because she can't freaking cope. You know, you can't drink on the job. That's why she got to bring that service dog. Well, I mean, you know, she used to try to drink on the job, but, you know, after the boss pulled her to the side and was like, you know, your breath kind of smelling kind of rank, smelling kind of like that Cuddy Sarks and shit. And Lil said the Cancer that I know always talking shit. And then, you know, you got the Leo coworker. And of course, on Monday, you got to hear about how great their weekend was and what they had on and what they were doing at the club and how they met this cute ass guy and how this guy was giving them all this attention. And then they're going to be telling you what you should be doing with your life. Ramon said, you're so fucking funny. Oh my God, I need to get myself a service dog, baby. Hell yeah, if that's going to help. Hey, Gary, what's up? You're not so late this time. Justin said, what sign is the coolest coworkers? That depends. I would say Gemini, but sometimes Gemini can talk too much. Sag can be real cool. Let me see. Sometimes Scorpio could be cool as shit, but a lot of times Scorpio ain't gonna just be your coworker because they trying to be that manager level. A lot of times your manager will be a Scorpio. They'll be a Scorpio more so than your coworker. And sometimes the Scorpio managers can be cool as shit, but then Scorpio just got this thing with them where you'll see them doing something, and then, something that really ain't according to company policy. You'll see them being a manager, do it. They'll even let you get away with it when they're with you. But then the minute you try to do that shit on your own, that's when they gonna bust your ass and be like, well, you're showing up to work a bit too late and all this stuff. But when y'all was riding to work together and y'all was showing up late every day, it was all cool. It was all gravy. The minute you get your own car and shit, now, you still coming in at the same time, 10 minutes late every day. And now, it's a problem now. Cameron said they're cool with it. Then Gemini want to know why they always got to work on Saturdays or work extra late. It's because you talk too goddamn much. If you shut your damn mouth up and get your work done, maybe you wouldn't have to be working overtime and working on the weekends and bringing your work home. Scorpio could be mean. Mm-hmm. Taurus can be a cool person on the job. I mean, just don't threaten their position at all. Like, if they feel like you're coming in between them and their job or making their, performance look raggedy, that's when you're going to have a problem. Hey, I am well versed. Lilith says Scorpio always plotting for some type of promotion or quitting to get a better job. Yup. Siobhan said my ex-Scorpio boss tried to set me up. Brittany said Taurus is cool, just bossy. New Moon said my mother's a Gemini and she does complain about working on a weekend. Yup, cause she be yapping, bumping them damn gums. And Capricorn, just leave them alone. They just want to be left alone a lot of times to do their work. They are trying to, climb that corporate ladder. Matter of fact, either they trying to climb that corporate ladder. And the reason why I'm talking about work, really, because it's Jupiter and Capricorn. So I'm about to segue into that after I, finish trash talking the signs about work. But, Capricorn, usually if they're not trying to move up in the company that they're in, they're plotting on just using this company as a stepping stone. And they probably already got a list of jobs that they're already, planning on applying for in the future and all this type of stuff. So, yeah, but basically leave their asses alone. Because sometimes they'll just be straight up mean to you and they'll be like, don't you have work to do? Or whatever. Or they might even just go straight to the boss and snitch, because they can be on snitch patrol. And especially if that's going to score them some brownie points with the boss. And don't expect them to be showing up to the Christmas parties and the birthday party. They're the one that, it's a birthday party, everybody passing around. You know how sometimes they'll be like, can you contribute to this person's birthday party? Capricorn will tell you straight up, either no or I don't got it. So don't even go to them when you need to, when you need some contributions to somebody's birthday party. It could even be that somebody's in the hospital and they need a kidney and shit, and they need, they need a donation and shit. The Capricorn will just be like, I don't got it. Knowing good and well they got 3 months of paychecks sitting in their bank account. My bill said Cappy's got to stay busy about all that work. Mm-hmm. Dario said Cap is a Scrooge. Hell yeah. And a lot of times they got plenty of money, but they're going to cry broke. That's how they stay financially secure, honestly, though. Cameron said Capricorn would just walk the fuck. Yup. Don't expect them to show up to the Christmas party and none of that stuff. Capricorn is so stingy because they're about security and they understand how quick money can go. So they rather hold on to money than spend it, even when it means depriving their own selves of certain stuff. Who did I miss? I talked about basically I really didn't talk about Sagittarius on the job. Well, you might not even see them a lot of times. A lot of times they will be rolling in late. A lot of times they will be leaving early. A lot of time, and they got an excuse for every goddamn thing. They are the kings and queens of calling out and coming up with the most elaborate but believable excuses. Amazonian goddess says Sagittarius are always late. And Sagittarius don't, oh my God, going to a staff meeting, that's like one of Sagittarius' like worst nightmares, having to sit in a fucking boring ass staff meeting. That's when you're gonna see them doodling on their you'll the person sitting next to them gonna see them doodling on their notebook talking about fuck this shit. Or like drawing funny pictures of the boss and shit. And Sagittarius will create a debate just to make the staff meeting interesting. I've done it before myself. I'd be like, hold up, excuse me, just to make that shit more interesting. Renee said, so true, my friend is like that. Eva said, my daughter's a Capricorn, always she broke, but yeah, she showed me her account, hella money saved up, yup. Because honestly, they really believe that if they got savings and like they could have like 5,000 in savings, right? And they, in their mind, they're broke because that savings isn't supposed to be touched. Like in their mind, savings is savings. Cancer can be like that too with savings, but not as rigid. So Capricorn, when they got savings, they literally don't think about touching that money at all. And that's how they could be so stingy. And that's how you could be like, hold up, this person's rich, but they're crying broke. It's because that money that they have is for the future. Capricorn is very future oriented. So somebody with Jupiter in Capricorn, they are very future oriented. They are very much planning for the future. They are very much concerned with the end of their life. And they want to make sure that they're going to be as secure and comfortable as possible. Amazonian goddess says Sagittarius spend even when they're broke. Look, let me tell you this. When I'm in a financial bind, I spend even more because this is my mentality as a Sagittarius. I'm like, I'm already up shit's creek. I might as well get what the fuck I want at this point. And that's what I was thinking about the other day. I was like, damn, hey, Mickey, how you doing? Because you'll be like, let's say that you're $2,000 in the hole for something. Then in your mind, you're like, what's $200 extra and shit? You like, fuck that. I'm going to do something special for myself since I got to pay this big ass bill. So instead of thinking like a Capricorn where they would be like, if they got like $200 to spend, Capricorn going to just save it because they're going to be like, well, I got to come out of my pocket like 2,000. But when it comes to Sag going to think, well, if I got to come out of my pocket 2,000, well, fuck that. I'm gonna treat myself to something. Shit, if they get to get some of my money, I'm getting some of my goddamn money. That's how we are. And we really don't like to be restricted in terms of spending. Like, and that's why in my Venus and Sag video, I put money was no object. Yeah, you sure can take it with you. Very much so. So with my Capricorn moon rising and then my Sagittarius stellium, I'm like half and half. A part of me can be very much extravagant at times, but then I got this other side that's like, I don't want to touch my money. So it's kind of like this bipolar thing I got going on. Monique said, I have a Cap boyfriend. She stayed with her blunt out dude just because she's used to his money help. Siobhan said, being a Cap balances my Sag energy. Doesn't it really help? Because you realize how wild out you would be if you didn't have that Cap energy to ground you. That Cap energy acts as an anchor. Hey, 197 Princess. You know what? I was supposed to do a natal reading on Easy E. It was like a couple of years ago. I could still do that. I'll add that to my list. How many? We got 81 people up in here, 30 likes. Can y'all please get the likes up? Also, I'm doing one card reading. So if you would like a one card reading, send at least $5 to my Cash App. And we could get it on and popping. For one card readings. And then for those who just came in, I was telling people that I'm having a New Year's Eve party, my second annual New Year's Eve party on December 31st. And we're going to be discussing about our highs and lows of 2019. And what I'm going to be doing is I'll have everybody's birth information in advance. So I'll be telling you what transits were going down per some of the events that you share about what was going down in your life. We're also going to be talking about major events and the transits that brought those about. We're going to be talking about the future to 2020, and I'll be giving some of my predictions, and then everybody will get a personalized mini forecast for 2020. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fly. Hi, Diana. What's up? I'm glad you joined us. Cameron said, I like my Aquarius coworkers the most, though. We are always talking shit about how the company is doing shit fucked up. I forgot to mention Aquarius. Thank you, Cameron. Aquarius could be a cool-ass coworker. They really can. A lot of times, they're the one that's going to take the extra 15 minutes of lunch break with you. So, and you know, they're not going to be that type of snitch. They're going to be real cool. See, their problem is though, when a new coworker comes on the scene, they might get a little different with you. If they tend to like this new coworker more, next thing you know, oh, I can't go out with lunch with you today because I got to go do something. And next thing you know, you see with the new coworker and shit. Or where he befriends the new coworker and tries to get you to be friends with the new coworker, but you know you ain't feeling that new coworker because it's you feel like they're a dark side Scorpio, but no, this Aquarian's still trying to get you to be part of this like threesome friendship and shit. You know how they're all about that polyamory. They could do that shit with friends too, so that could be their problem. And also, they're the type that will push their work off on you. Oh, can you show me how to do this? Next thing you know, I'm still having trouble. Can you just do this for me? Like, I'm really like, all the while they just sitting back like, yeah, because you know, Aquarius is all about making their life as convenient as possible. As Mahogany said, I'm Aquarius moon and a Gemini sun, best coworker. Cameron said, I said this earlier, but I had an Aquarius coworker who I swear looked out her car in the morning, and if her car looked like it might not start, she would call in. No way. That's crazy. Diana said, LMAO, I was the one trying to unite all my friends. I'm an aqua moon, shaking my head, learn it don't always work. Hell no, that shit don't always work. I wonder why the hell they have an issue with each other. Exactly, because it ain't going to work like that. Yup, Aquarius stay play dumb on the job. Exactly. They know exactly what they're doing. New Moon said they want to be catered to and chauffeured around. They play dumb real good. They sure do. Siobhan said my Aquarius friend hated me for not giving her answers to tests, high school. Yup, they will skate by shit. They will. If they could get over, they will. Cameron said Aquarius plays dumb, period. Yup. Oh, Ricardo, send me a cash app. Thank you. Let me see. What's your question? Thank you, Ricardo. What's your question? I still got to do that video where I show you all my tarot decks. Mickey said, and they will pull strings behind your back, orchestrating shit at work. Justin said, my Aquarius coworker is cool as fuck, but I have Aquarius in my 7th, and my birth number breaks down to the number 4. Amazonian said Virgo versus Gemini. Who you think would make a better boss, Virgo or Gemini? Because either one of them really good for being bosses. So who would make the better boss, Virgo or Gemini? They're both ruled by Mercury. They're both mutable signs. So in that respect, you know, they could be rather flexible as bosses. But who would you rather have as a boss, Gemini or Virgo? Here's my cash app. Let me see. Millionaire said Gemini. Virgo is too anal. Ali said Virgo too picky. Hell no. Let me see. How are my finances going to be? So, Ricardo, are you looking for just for 2020 or are you looking for in general? Let me know. Davey said Virgo. Cameron said Virgo is the micromanager. But no, but Gemini can be a cool boss until they switch up on you, and they will switch up on you. That's the problem I would have with a Gemini boss. I think I would as much as Virgo is a pain in my ass, I might want Virgo instead, simply because when I'm on the job, I'm serious about my work. And I know Virgos usually, if I'm doing my work correctly, they're going to leave me alone for the most part. Gemini boss, you could be doing your work correctly. Hey, Bobby. And they're still not going to leave you alone simply because they want to talk. So they could be, hey, Blasian Beauty, where you at, Ricardo? Is it just for, okay, for 2020. So how your finances going to be in 2020. But like I was saying, them Gemini boss, and I'm one of them workers where I don't really like to be bothered. But them Gemini bosses, they'll even pull you into their personal lives and shit just because they want to talk. And that could be really challenging because you don't want to just blow the boss off and get on their bad side because, you know, Gemini is two-faced as hell. My bills be paid said Gemini get too close to the Gemini boss, two-faced for sure. Yup. Demi said Gemini cause issues in the workplace, gossip about different coworkers, especially Gemini moons. All right. Who are you talking to? I am well versed. You said what Saggy hurt you. All right, let's see how Ricardo's finance is going to be in 2020. How that bank going to look. Money, 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 money. Money. Oh, I hear thunder. Ace of Swords, baby. Okay, so this Ace of Swords deals with radical change. That's one of the main meanings of this card. I'm trying to like get it out of this glare. God damn. Okay, here it is. That's the best I could do, I guess. Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords could deal with a radical change in terms of your finances. Could be good, could be bad. What that can also mean is that's the enough is enough card, where it's like you might be spending money in a certain area where you're going to have to say, okay, enough. This is draining my money. This is putting a, drain on my resources. You like that card, Mickey? That's your card right there, because that could deal with Gemini. It can deal with where you have to cut your expense. You're going to have to cut some type of expense in order for you to start seeing a more positive change in terms of your finances. This can even mean that you have to make a serious change in terms of your job or even earning potential. So this is no joke in terms of in terms of your answer, because this means that it's time to get serious about your finances, and it's time to stop making excuses, because it does look like you're very much responsible, I'll say, for the state of your financial health right now, whether you want to believe it or not. So there's some things that you need to do, some drastic changes that you need to take to make a difference in 2020 so that you can be in a better financial position. So are you looking for a better job, Ricardo? Are you happy where you're at? Are you dealing with any like exorbitant expenses or just expenses, in general? Okay, it sounds like somebody else sent me something. What's your question? Who sent that, and what's your question? Thank you. Oh, Karen. Okay, you said, what do your cards say? Oh, I like that question. What do your cards say about Jupiter and Capricorn for me? Okay, I like that. Hey. See, Cameron thinking ahead. I like that. That's good, though, for you, because you're a Taurus. So that's sweet. That's even good for your Capricorn North Node. It's even good for, wait a minute, what else you got? I'm trying to think. It's not so good for that Gemini energy you're working with. I will say that. But let's let the cards speak for themselves. See what the cards got to say. Ethereal said both mutable and Mercury rules, so it's going to retrograde frequently. Are you saying the two bosses are going to go retrograde on that ass? Child, you got the strength card. Let me stop. Wait a minute. Don't you got that North Node in the 8th house? First of all, That strength card, that is a card where it's like you need to be patient. Good things come to those who wait. But it also means you need to exercise some self-control, honey. And you're already doing that. So it's like, keep on doing what you're doing. It could wait. Karen said I do. LOL, I already knew. And it really means this year, you're gonna have to really be about using your finesse to get what you want out of others, even if it means, I'm not gonna say lie, but sometimes you gotta hold back a little bit instead of being so open and giving of yourself, especially emotionally. Also, you might be dealing with some manipulators in 2020, and it might come upon you subtly, so it might not be easy to see offhand. That can also mean to rein in your sexual desire, be more about quality instead of quantity, or don't settle for less. Really be about channeling that sexual energy into something that is constructive on a non-sexual level, because this card is like making things happen, believe it or not. It basically means if you can channel the energy of your lower self up to your higher self, you can accomplish a lot with that Jupiter in Capricorn, especially since it's going to land on your North Node. Black Genius said that's a red flag. But you got to tame that savage beast within. But I feel like you already do a good job of doing that. So I feel like you're good. That strength card is a pretty good card in general. It is a card that, again, you could be making some things happen, especially when you're doing things in a very conscious manner, and you're really, putting your ducks in order and you're being patient. Hey, Jules, what's up? Jules said, my man has 24th birthday. It's a 6 service and duty in this life, but needs to be calculated with other stuff. Oh, you talking to Diana. Dirty Diana. Oh. Remember Michael Jackson sang that song? He was talking about Diana Ross. I was telling somebody, was I saying that during my last live stream, how you could tell Diana Ross, like, basically, I don't want to say she took Michael's virginity, but I think she was instrumental in introducing Michael to that sexual world. I'll just say that. I'm like, come on. Oh, your husband sings Dirty Diana to you? Dirty Diana. Oh. But yeah, I'm like, who else would he be talking about with that Dirty Diana? And she probably loved that song. She was probably like, yeah, I remember them days. Who's a dark-sided Leo? Diana Ross is an Aries. I believe it was. He was talking about Dirty Diana. Yup, see, my bill said yes. He was talking about Miss Ross. Miss Ross the boss. They didn't call her the boss for no reason. Lilith, I never forgive Oprah for asking Michael if he was a virgin at 40 years old. She asked him that? Bobby said Miss Ross the boss. Oh, Allie said J-Lo. So you talk about J-Lo. I never really liked J-Lo. She just always rubbed me the wrong way. Mainly because the chick really never had no true talent. Even when it came to the dancing, I don't even see her being that great with the dancing. Her face is annoying as shit. She always has that like half purse, open mouth type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That J-Lo look. I'm like, bitch, stop acting fake. So she's a July 24th. No wonder why she had it easy in her career, because she can't sing worth a goddamn lick. If you were my love. She has a lot of trines. It makes sense. She J-Ho her way up to the top. Started with P. Diddy. No, wasn't she with somebody before that in the industry? Dana said J-Lo steals music from everybody. I'm not surprised. I don't think I've ever looked at her chart. But knowing she's a 24, damn, Dana said ask Ashanti. Oh, I remember Mariah Carey threw J-Lo some major shade. Like some interviewer was asking, y'all probably seen this. Some interviewer was asking Mariah what she thought about J-Lo. And J-Lo was like, Mariah was like, who? Cindy said, damn, Rahbinah, I get you, but I would say she can act, not sing. Oh, I don't even think she can act. Did you see her in that movie? What was that movie where she was trying to, that movie Enough? I think the best she did was playing Selena. And then she was in this other movie. I wasn't feeling her either. She's just not that great. What really helped her out was the fact that she was born in Leo, because Leo is the sign of celebrity, and that she was born on the 24th. Without that, she wouldn't have even been in Hollywood. Right? You saw that in My Bills when Mariah funny as shit. Like, if I had to choose between hanging out with Mariah or J-Lo for a night, I'm choosing Mariah all day. Even though Mariah got a little crazy shit to her, I'm choosing Mariah all day. Dana said Mariah Carey always had beef with J-Lo because of Tommy Mottola was messing with J-Lo? Is that how J-Lo got put on? Yes, Bobby. Mariah is a straight up Aries. She don't give a fuck. She just like, and I love that voice that she be having. I don't know. She be like, I don't know who she is. Lady Donna said, well, keep Queen B out of this. Who's talking about Beyonce? Is that who you talk about? Fly said Tommy used J-Lo to spite Mariah, his ex-wife. Oh, so that is probably how J-Lo ended up in the industry. Justice said, would I rather hang out with Beyonce, Rihanna, or Nicki Minaj? That's a good question because they all get on my nerves. If I had to choose one, it'd be Nicki, I guess, because she's a Sag like me and we could kind of relate on some levels. And that would give me a chance to really get in her ear about that fool that she's with. I'd be like, Nicki, come here. I'd be like, look, talking to her, man. I didn't say you come here. I said, Nicki. I'd be like, go back over and sit down at that table. Okay, we'll be with you in a minute. Nicki, look. Here, this ain't right here. This ain't working out. Oh, speaking of relationships, what about Keisha Cole with that young boy? Isn't he like 22 or something and Keisha Cole like 47? No, Keisha ain't that old. I think Keisha's like 40 or whatever, and she's dating this like 20-something year old. He's like 21, but he looks like he's 17, y'all. Did y'all see a picture of her? I don't know if they're married yet. Oh, he's 23 and she's 38. That's a big difference. That's what it's about, Allie. But not just that. She wants somebody that she could dominate and control. She does have Mars and Leo. So that Mars and Leo is twofold. Number one, that makes her bossy as shit. And that makes her attracted to young dudes. So also, trust me, she gonna be whooping that dude's ass when he don't do what she want. So that's another reason why she was just naturally drawn to him, because that's gonna be like her son. I heard them talking on some radio show or something, and it already sounded like she was talking to him like that's her son. Right? New move. I agree. She was supposed to stick and move and get the fuck up out of there. Kate After Dark said a lot of songwriters say they write songs for Beyonce and then she adds her name to it. I heard Beyonce been stealing songs ever since Destiny's Child. I remember A. Marie. It's this one thing that got me tripping. I love that song. Oh, trying to let it go. Trying to keep my eyes closed. I used to love that song. And that other song she did. She had 3 songs that I really liked. Why Don't We Fall in Love, One Thing, and then that other one, Talking to Me. Rihanna just seems like such a bitch. I know she's a Pisces, and Pisces tend to be real sweet. But there were some things that Rihanna did that still rubs me the wrong way today. Like, I remember she clowned that girl on Twitter that, you know, tried to do a prom dress. She tried to design her prom dress like one of Rihanna's dresses. And the poor girl really tried. But instead, you know, Riri, she clowned the girl. And, you know, it turned viral and all this stuff, made the girl all, you know, humiliated and shit like that. Pisces is a sign of humiliation. So she didn't have to be like that. I heard she's done quite a few stuff like that. So, okay, let's say that it was because she was young. Maybe she know better now and all that type of stuff. But she just strikes me as like, I wouldn't trust her at all. Like, there's something about Rihanna I just don't trust. And I would advise any man that got with her, I'd be like, if I were you, I would always, you know, live in separate homes. Because she looked like the type that would be standing over a man with a butcher's knife. Talking about Disturbia. Oh, how did that go? Disturbia. Yup, Pisces can be serial killers, and I see that shit in her. She probably got a couple of bodies on her. Dana said, Dana said Rihanna stole Naomi Campbell man. She did. Wait a minute, she with that rich man? Oh no, Cade said Rihanna stole Naomi Campbell's man. Dana said, I'm definitely having a blunt with Rihanna. Yeah, but Rihanna the type, she gonna hog that blunt. You ain't gonna get hardly none of it. Oh, I heard some Kachengus Jane. Who got a question? Wait a minute. Okay, Cameron, I answered your question. So who is this? But Dana, you ain't getting a lot of that blunt fucking around with Rihanna. It ain't happening. All right, whoever sent me the Cash App, let me know. Wait a minute, I'm trying to see who that is. What is that? Well, I'll get the thing soon. Wait a minute, somebody said who raped who? 197 said Rihanna supported a slave rape play. New York, her friend. What? My bill, you know she. Oh, Ricardo. Okay. What's your next question? You know she the type that's gonna hog that blunt. And then she gonna be sitting back. She gonna act like, you know, she can't pass the blunt because she in the middle of a conversation while she's smoking. I wish I could do her little accent, but I don't think I could do it right. She's an Aries rising. Okay, enough said. She's hogging the blunt. And her moon is in Aries. Lil said Rihanna out here with an Arab billionaire. Wait a minute, that was Naomi Campbell's man. I thought Naomi Campbell was with the Russian dude. Dana said, I'm a smoke for it, right? You better just roll your own goddamn blunt. For real. Damn, Naomi was with both men. She gets around. I was watching this video and they were showing one of her houses and it was like this space stage type of house. I was like, what she got in Aquarius? I know she's a Gemini. Actually, I could see a Gemini living in a house like that. But it was the house that her Russian boyfriend built for her. So now it's buffering. Like, what the hell? Oh, Ricardo, what's your question? Ricardo said, I'm a Sagittarius. My wife is a Libra. It's only been a year and it's been rough. Are we going to make it? Oh, shit. Even though Sag and Libra, you know, are compatible in general, you got to think about what else is in your charts. Like, do you know what sign each of your moons are in? Because that could be the main problem because Sag and Libra pretty much do well together. But if there's other things in the chart, you never know. But I like this question. You said, are we going to make it? Are we going to make it, girl? Well, are we going to drift and drift? Remember that song? Some people can hold it together. Some people can love one another for life. How about us? How about us, baby? All right, let me see. Are y'all gonna make it? Can we? How about us? How about us, baby? My Bills, I know you know that song. Won't you say it to me, baby? Let's start something. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Ricardo. This marriage can work if you allow your wife to take the lead. And I just gotta be real. If you're not gonna bend to her will, if you're not gonna allow her to basically run the show most of the time, while you just kind of hang back and be, that flexible Sagittarius, then it could work. If you're gonna really push back a lot of times, it's not gonna work. Because honestly, this is her marriage, this is her show, this is her rodeo. Ricardo said, I don't know how to find my moon. My birth certificate doesn't have the time on it. And that's the problem with Libra. A lot of times they want to act like Libra is this diplomatic person and all this stuff. But see, the problem with Libra is sometimes they could become the relationship itself. They could become the marriage itself. And then they lose sight of the fact that they're actually dealing with a whole nother person. So it's like, you almost don't exist in this marriage. It's about the marriage. It's not about you. Do you feel me? In that there is a difference. Oh, my birthday is December 5th, tomorrow. And I've been on for an hour, so I got an hour left because I mean it. I mean it this time. I am not going to go over. Ricardo said, oh, let her lead. We're not going to make it. Well, there it is. And I like that. Be real with yourself. Because I'm being real with you right now. If you're not going to let her have her way most of the time, because like I said, it's not about you. It's about the relationship. And if she wants the relationship to go a certain way and you're not down with that, Mickey said 5 hours later, right? I know. I'm really going to try to stick to my guns. But, if you're not going to allow her to manage the relationship in a way that she sees fit, it's not going to work. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you, Letitia. Thank you, Lady Donna. But yeah. And actually, this is a card of being single, Ricardo. This is a good card of being single and fulfilled. It's funny that you mentioned fulfilled because I didn't really want to come out and say it, that, this is a card of being single, but that's what I was getting at. Because you know how us Sagittarius are. We're about justice. And if you feel like she's being unjustified a lot of times, it's not going to sit right with you. So that's why I phrased it in that way. Like, yeah, if you let her always take the lead and basically manage the relationship as if you're not even in it, like it's not about you, it's about the relationship. And she is the relationship, which means it's about her. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this Jupiter and Capricorn. Oh, my God, let's talk. Because I only got an hour left. Okay. Let's see. Yup, I was going to talk about Jay-Z too briefly. So I got some notes about Jupiter and Capricorn. I was going to make a video about this, but then I got sidetracked, or actually the video was becoming too long. And I was like, let me just talk about this live. All right. So as Justin had already mentioned, when Jupiter is in Capricorn, Jupiter is said to be in the fall. And that's because when it's in Cancer, it's exalted. So exalted means basically lovely. The fall basically means fugly. No, it don't mean it that bad, but it basically means that Jupiter is not able to operate at its highest vibration or operate even as it should. Thank you, Leisha. Thank you so much. Or operate as it should. And just think about it. Jupiter represents God, or you could say that God force or that divine force. And Capricorn is the sign of the what? Anybody? What does Capricorn represent? Oh, thank you so much, my Bills. Man, that sure would be juicy if y'all could do that. Oh, see, that's Sagittarius for you. My Bills is bad. She be looking out for you, girl. Yes, Ali, the devil. Justice said the devil. Siobhan said the devil. So yes, so you have that godly Jupiter being in the sign of the devil. So that alone can explain why Jupiter is in the fall when in Capricorn. Oh, here's my Cash App. Let me put it down. So yeah, if y'all want to send me a little birthday donation, I greatly appreciate it. Maybe I'll get myself a new hat. I'll be like the old days, remember? Like in the 1930s or whatever. If you could afford a new hat, that meant you was doing well. Oh, child, I'm gonna get me a new hat for church. All right, speaking of church, Sagittarius season. But thank you very much. If anybody would like to donate for my birthday, that'd make me cry. Cameron said, okay, y'all talking amongst each other. All right. So Jupiter, when in Capricorn, is considered to be in the fall, which means that the generous, joyous, and expansive nature of Jupiter is stifled to a significant degree. Freedom may even be curtailed at times. Letitia said, I always wonder what that means, the sign of the devil, because I believe in God so much. Ali said, yup, unlucky. I got Jupiter in Capricorn. Well, Ali, your Jupiter return is coming up. So that could be cool. Thank you, Shawnee. Jupiter in Capricorn can produce too much concern for material gain or the material side of life at the expense of the spiritual. So that's another reason why Jupiter is considered to be in the fall when in Capricorn. So again, too much concern for the material at the expense of the spiritual. Jupiter in Capricorn produces a great deal of ambition and a drive to succeed in life. Once an ambition is realized, another ambition is not far behind. So these are the people that, you know, once they have achieved something, they want to go on to achieve something else. It's like it's never enough for them. So aspirations will involve one's career, improved status, and making an indelible mark upon society. Regarding religion and spirituality, oh, wait a minute, before I get into that part, a job or career could require long distance travel. That should be a given because everybody should know by now, or most people should know in here, that Jupiter rules long distance travel. So with Jupiter in Capricorn, if somebody has that placement, they might have to travel long distance at various times for their job. Also, somebody could create a business out of traveling. So there's somebody in particular, thank you. There's somebody in particular that I know that has Jupiter in Capricorn. Is a celebrity, and they've made a career out of traveling, but I can't think of who that is right real quick. I'm trying to see if I have them written down. But I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's made a career out of traveling. I was like, that's so Jupiter and Capricorn. Who is that? No, I must have didn't write him down. Okay. And then let me see. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right, let me see. Jupiter and Capricorn in terms of religion and spirituality. So Jupiter and Capricorn is inclined to adhere to tradition, or none at all. Church could be treated as an opportunity to attract new customers and clients. So that could be another reason why Jupiter is in the fall. Thank you, whoever said that. I'll be seeing soon. Why Jupiter is in the fall when in Capricorn, because these people could even use church as a place to start, you know, to do business. Oh, you know, to get drum up business for their landscaping company, or they could be a real estate agent. They're giving everybody at church their card. So they can really corrupt the whole religious thing. Also, Satan, just think about how the story about Satan taking Jesus up on the mountaintop, and he said, I will give you all the world if you bow down and worship me. And Jesus was like, nah, I'm cool. So, you know, that Jupiter and Capricorn can deal with that. That's why I was like, this is the selling your soul, Jupiter. Mickey said, all right, Jesus flipping tables, right? Exactly. So Capricorn would represent the devil, but also the mountaintop. Isn't that interesting? So this is why a lot of people that are up at the top, they had to sell their souls, so to speak. Capricorn deals with the top, the mountaintop even, So all of this stuff that you read in the Bible really is metaphors. It's like very symbolic. Even when Jesus up at the mountaintop, that's Capricorn. That's Jupiter and Capricorn talking to the devil. Jupiter and Capricorn. And him being tested. It was a test. Capricorn is the sign of testing. So see, I'm getting all religious and all sanctified and stuff. Woo! Okay. But yes, so the fact that Satan offered the world, and it shows you that even back then, Satan was the ruler of this world, because he couldn't have offered Jesus the world if he wasn't in charge of the world. You know what I'm saying? And even to this day, but even more. Thank you so much, LaShawn. And you're going to see it more blatant with Jupiter and Capricorn, that the devil is the ruler of this world. It's going to become more blatant. Trust me. So 2020 is going to be wild in terms of some of the stuff that you're going to see. You're going to start to see preachers just selling out for real. You're going to start. It's funny that Kanye West is starting his church just in time for Jupiter and Capricorn. Come on now. All right. See an opportunity at every turn. Cameron said you need to run up and down the hallway and fall out, Rahbinah, to make this complete, right? I'm getting the Holy Ghost here. So see an opportunity at everywhere you turn. So again, that can include even when you go to church, because, you know, some Jupiter and Capricorn people, hey, Chelsea, could still go to church. Because like I said, with Jupiter and Capricorn, you're either going to adhere to tradition, which meaning the religion of my parents, that's the religion I'm going to follow. Like if my parents were Muslim or Christian, that's what I'm going to be. Or they're not going to believe in God at all. So there's an atheistic side with this Jupiter and Capricorn, or you could say a satanic side with this Jupiter and Capricorn. And Satanism is basically just esteeming the material over the spiritual. So again, seeing opportunity at every turn. We'll see a new business and intuitively know if that business is going to fail or if it's going to be successful. So for instance, they see a new like little family restaurant open up and they automatically know, like your friend that has Jupiter and Capricorn, they're going to be like, that place ain't going to last. And you're going to be like, how do you know? You're going to look at them and think that they're just being pessimistic or they're being a hater. And you're like, why are you being a hater? And then 3 months later or 6 months later, that restaurant has closed on the damn door. And your Jupiter and Capricorn friend was right, because they're very intuitive when it comes to business. So they just know when a business is going to fail or when it's going to be successful. And they might have even said, oh, I would never open up a restaurant in this location. They made a big mistake doing that. So they're always thinking about opportunity. Now, Jupiter and Capricorn can produce an interest in ancient civilizations and historical periods. Jupiter and Capricorn produces a love for history and that which stands the test of time. So a lot of times these are people that, you know, they could be into like Ancient Aliens TV show. They could be into the Anunnaki. I don't know if anybody know about that, but basically there's people that believe that we were created by an alien race. So they might be into studying that. They might be into studying, yes, Cameron, Adolf Hitler had Jupiter and Capricorn. You see how he took that shit too far. And he was basically a Satanist. My bill said my son has Jupiter and Capricorn currently in the Navy. Yes, that military and traveling, having a job where he has to travel. And also, so these people tend to be lovers of history. Jupiter and Capricorn can result in a need to travel more out of necessity than for pleasure. Because again, Capricorn isn't really what you want to do. It's about what you have to do. Now, with respect to higher education, Jupiter and Capricorn brings a preference for independent study as opposed to attending colleges and universities. Now, if somebody does attend a college or university, there's a good chance they're going to drop out. Or Jupiter and Capricorn can manifest as employer-sponsored education, where you got your employer paying for your college degree. So Siobhan said, won't be surprised if something about Hitler resurfaces. I could see that. Golden said 2020 is going to be a religious spiritual year. To add injury to insult, there's a film being released on Netflix next year about Jesus coming to a modern city. Investigators find out he's real. Wow. That's very Jupiter and Capricorn. Also, Jupiter and Capricorn is about getting that real world education. It's about the hard knocks. So some of them might even drop out of high school, or some of them, you know, they already know that they're not going to be going to college because they want to learn through the real world. They want to get out and start working it as soon as possible because they value that real world education. They also value that school and not hard knocks education. My bill said, yup, my son dropped out of Grambling. There you go. These are the dropouts. But it doesn't, just because you drop out don't mean that you are a loser or a failure. A lot of times it's because these people are realists. And if they figure that, hey, I can accomplish what I need to accomplish in a shorter amount of time than wasting 4 years in college, they'll drop out. Also, Jupiter in Capricorn often manifests as a lack of faith and belief in things unseen, due to a need for concrete proof. So this is the skeptic. So for instance, one of my students asked me, she was like, I know of a guy, he's an Aquarius, but he doesn't believe in astrology. And she was like, if astrology is ruled by Aquarius, how can that be? So I said, well, he could have his sun squared by Saturn. He could have sun square Pluto. Sure enough, he did have sun square Pluto. But come to find out, he also had Jupiter in Capricorn, and that can produce a skeptic. He also was traditional in terms of his religious beliefs as well. So again, it goes hand in hand. A lot of people that do ascribe to traditional religious beliefs, they may be skeptical about astrology, or they might feel like it's of the devil or whatever like that. Yes, Jeffrey Dahmer had Jupiter in Capricorn as well. I got a list of these people: Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jack Nicholson, Mark Zuckerberg. I think somebody mentioned him. Katy Perry, Eminem, Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. Yes, Lilith, astrology is Aquarius. So when it comes to intuition, there's a tendency to doubt their intuition, and with that will come hard lessons in the need to listen to their intuition. Also, attempts to make the most of one's time. So these people are really time conscious, and you really don't want to waste their time at all. And they have so much to do, but so little time. That's how they look at it. So they are going to be very much about prioritizing when it comes to their freedom. Now, faith without works is dead. Now, that saying is in the Bible, and it's very true for Jupiter and Capricorn. So you can have all the faith in the world. If you're not putting any work behind it, then it's not going to come to fruition. Unlike if you had Jupiter and Pisces. With Jupiter and Pisces, you could just sit in bed at night and be wishing something that will happen, and that shit can happen a lot of times. But Jupiter and Capricorn, you could wish, you could pray, you could, toss coins in the fountain all day long. You're not going to get what you need until you work hard for it and you're disciplined. So faith without works is very much Jupiter in Capricorn. Also, more government power and control. That can always happen whenever Jupiter enters Capricorn. So don't be surprised if you start seeing the government start passing more draconian laws where they start exhibiting more power and control over the masses. Some corporations will experience tremendous growth in a short period of time. So this upcoming year, you might see some of these corporations become even bigger and become even more, totalitarian. Hey, Connect, what's up? Now, Satanism, like I was saying, will become more blatant and pervasive. Expect to see more goat images. And I'm serious about that. Like already, like in certain shows, I think that show Hollywood Husbands, Kevin Hart had a pet goat. And in certain commercials, they have goats and stuff. Expect to see the goat theme more prominent now that Jupiter is in Capricorn. Because these people that run Hollywood, that run, the marketing industry, they know about all this shit. All right. So let's talk about Jupiter and Capricorn through the houses. So this will apply to you if you do. Siobhan said, I want a pet goat. You sound like my daughter. I'm like, she'd be like, oh, goats are so cute. I'd be like, have you seen their eyes? Akeda, you're the one who pointed out to me that they got those rectangle pupils. I was like, that's some satanic shit right there. But anyway, so if you know your birth time, you'll know what how your houses line up. You'll know where Capricorn lies in your chart. So right now I'm going to go through some of what can occur when Jupiter is transiting your houses. So first house. So Ali said I have it in the second house and the third house. Okay. So first house, Jupiter in the first. I have to take my glasses off. Okay. Reaching or nearing the summit in terms of an ambition. Your name receives more recognition and instant respect. Your reputation precedes you. Professional advancement. An upgrade in terms of status. The big finish. Significant weight loss. Taking on more responsibility. Getting more gray hairs. Having less time for yourself due to spreading yourself thin. Expanding your reach, especially in terms of business. Okay, anybody got Jupiter transiting their first house? It'll be transiting my first house. Thank you, Cameron. It'll be transiting my first house come January. And I'm looking forward to that. So I feel like 2020, and guess what card I got for the year? Because I teach tarot classes, so I will have my tarot students, me and my tarot students will be doing like one card readings and stuff like that. As they get deeper into the class, it gets more extensive with the readings. But I love doing one card readings with my students. So with one of my students, I was like, let's pick a card to represent how our year is going to be for 2020. Guess what card I got? Guess what card I got, considering the fact that Jupiter and Capricorn is going to be transiting my first house? Just take one guess, if anybody that knows tarot. Anyone's quiet in here now. You can hear anyone? And I don't see if anyone. Okay, Johanna, you got Jupiter's going to be transiting your first house, if it's not already. All right, well, I'll just tell you. I got the Devil card. And in tarot, the Devil card is Capricorn. Yes, Siobhan, I got the Devil card. So when I saw that Devil card, I thought about it. And I was like, okay, Jupiter and Capricorn is going to be transiting my first house. And sometimes the devil ain't all that bad. Sometimes you need a little bit of the devil in your life. Like I was telling one of my students. And she agreed. You know, there's a need for balance. And you know, you can't be totally on this light side where you're always good and all this stuff. Because guess what? You're going to get walked on. People are going to take advantage of you. Hey, esoteric. People are going to take advantage of you. People are going to, you know, think they could just use you and all that type of stuff. So you got to kind of have a little side of you that can get kind of hard, that can, you know, run with the big dogs when you need to, that can hold your own, all that type of stuff. So everybody needs a little bit of that meanness to them. Everybody needs a little Capricorn in their life. And so that Devil card sometimes is what you need to become more of. And I need to become more ambitious, especially on a material level. I feel like I've been very ambitious on a spiritual level, but with 2020 and Jupiter entering my first house, I need to become more ambitious on a material level. And that Devil card, Capricorn, is all about materialism. So I'm not, even though that, hey, Sarah, even though that Devil card can mean some bad things, and somebody mentioned restriction. So there could be times where, you know, I do feel restricted or whatever. It could deal with the fact that I'm overworked and I don't have hardly any time for myself, because with Capricorn in my first house anyway, most of my time is given to my clients, and that's how I prefer it. I love it like that. And if it's not given to my clients, it's given to my kids, or it's given to something dealing with some type of necessity or, you know, responsibility. Other than that, and then I'll have some time for myself. And usually I'll have free time for myself, like maybe an hour here out the day, an hour there. Rest of the time I'm working, and then I might sleep like 4 hours or whatever, wake up, get back to work, all that type of stuff. So my life is really about work. Whatever sign is in your first house will have a lot of dominance over your life, will wield a lot of influence over your life. So that's very true with my Capricorn energy in my first. Second house, there could be an issue with security, such as a security breach involving your bank. So if anybody has Capricorn in their second house, just be very careful. You might want to check your bank account balance more often. Don't be surprised if there is, some notification from your bank, like your account might be flagged, and you might not even did anything, but maybe you went out of town and you were spending money, because you know how sometimes you might spend more money going out of town, and next thing you know, your account is being flagged for suspicious activity. So that could happen. Also, just expect to be even more concerned about money, because if you got Capricorn in the second house, I know you're already very concerned about money. You might be uptight about money. You might be kind of tight-fisted. Expect to be even more so that way. And in that respect, your generosity is going to be tested in 2020. You're going to be going through it, because don't be surprised if people will be asking you for money. And with that Capricorn in your second, you don't like to part with money like that. So with Jupiter and Capricorn in the second, yeah, you might be in this position where people got their hands out, and it's just eating you up inside, and it's going to be for like some serious real reasons too, where it's really going to tear you up inside. Like, you need to help out, but you thinking about your savings and how, $200 missing from your savings, it's going to make you feel all like, ooh, you know how that Capricorns be. Also, you could be streamlining in order to save time or money. Expect to be saving a lot of money, even more money this year, if you've already been saving money. Or let's say it could be this year, well, once 2020 hits especially, that could be when you really say, you know what, I'm going to put aside money from every check. Yup, Mr. Krabs. I'm going to put aside money from every check. I'm not even going to look at that money. It's going to go directly into a savings account. You could be doing that by the end of the year. Man, you could have stacked up a nice amount of savings. Also, you could be more guarded over what is yours. There could be a dispute over the amount that you've been paid or earned. And also, you could be spending money on something that's like old, some antique, some vintage items. You might really be getting into that whole vintage items and antiques and stuff now that Jupiter is in the second house. You might expand your collection with Jupiter in the second house in Capricorn. Oh, thank you so much. All right. Where you at? I didn't even see you. Hold on. And what's your question, Essie? Wait a minute, I don't even see you up in here. Well, let me know what your question is. Thank you for the donation. Third house. Anybody got Jupiter transiting their third house? Capricorn. Siobhan said, I've been buying vintage items lately. So typical Cappy, though. And with Jupiter and Capricorn, you're probably going to be buying more of them, too. Flunky is a word. You know what? Sometimes Capricorn will be a flunky for people if they know that it's going to get them up to the top at one point. All right. So Mickey has Capricorn in her third. So you could be giving a sibling, relative, or neighbor the silent treatment as a form of justice. So this could be your way of evening the playing field or settling the score or whatever. You could be giving them the silent treatment. You could feel like you're being pulled in different directions. You could end up having a longer commute to work. You might have to take mass transit at some point due to car trouble or an issue with your license. You might get pulled over by a cop. And traffic citations could even lead to traffic courts. So be careful. Like, honestly, with Jupiter and Capricorn in your third house, the heat's going to be on you. The cops are going to be looking at you. So be careful driving. Make sure you got your insurance card in your glove box. Make sure your license is straight. Make sure you ain't smoking weed in the car. Make sure you don't have open alcohol bottles in the car. Wait a minute. Mickey said, oh, my God, that happened on your birthday. That you got stopped by the cops? Where you at, Esperanza? Wait, did you ask your question? And if anybody else asked a question that I didn't get to and you donated, please let me know. Oh, you said you lurking. Which you want to ask your question outside of the room? You could do that too. All right, let me see. Where we at? So yeah, you could get pulled over by 5-0. I'm just saying. So if you see them lights in your rear view mirror, you could have more bouts of depression, because if you got Capricorn in your third house alone, you're just naturally prone to depression. That's a sad placement for Capricorn. So you could be experiencing more bouts of depression, but you may be trying to do something about it this time around instead of just wallowing in depression. Also, it could be time to diversify your business if you have a business. Also, you could be adopting better time management techniques. You could have some big business ideas. And you could be taking a business related or professional level course at some point. And you could be acquiring more credentials. So you could be getting a license or a certification in something. You could even be taking a class that's going to help you professionally. Mickey said, I totally am on going to therapy and all that. Hey, so you already on it, girl. Okay, that's what's up. Fourth house. Does anybody have Jupiter transiting their fourth house? This is going to be you, Esperanza, because you got Capricorn on your fourth, but I don't think it's in the early degrees, so you got some time. But it's in your third, so you're going to have to be careful with 502. Let me see. Okay, so this is Jupiter in the fourth house. So you could be installing or upgrading a home security system. You could be having a costly home repair, especially structural. So like, you know how some of those houses be having that porch, that porch might start leaning to the side. Oh, well, if you can't type, just send me an email and I'll do your question that way when you get a chance. Having what was I talking about? We're on the fourth house. So costly home repair, your porch might start leaning to the side like this, and you like, God damn, I gotta shell out all this money. Also, you could be looking at a significant rent increase, and that significant rent increase, because Capricorn is the sign of restriction, limitation. So your rent going up, of course, is going to put limitations on other areas of your life. Like you might not be able to eat out as much. You might not be able to go shopping for clothes as much. Someone is moving out. You could be relocating for a job. And again, when I'm saying someone is moving out, just think about this. Like Capricorn deals with being alone. Capricorn also rules quiet. So let's say that you and one other person live together. If they move out, of course, you're going to have more quiet. Of course, you're going to have more alone time. Also, Capricorn is the sign of responsibility. So your responsibilities are going to increase now that that person has moved out. Maybe they were paying half the rent and now you got to pay for all the rent. So again, along with that, having to assume more responsibility with respect to home matters. You could be gaining more control within the home. Again, especially if somebody moves out. Making some upgrades to Sarah, that's the type of guy you need to get with. You need to get with a Capricorn and stop messing around. But we're going to see what's up with this Gemini, though. All right. Making some upgrades to an old home. So if you got Capricorn in the fourth, you just might be partial to old homes, or you might live in an old home. So Jupiter and Capricorn, that's the perfect time to make some upgrade. Hey, Wally, how you doing? Wally from Egypt. All right. Creating a home office or workspace. Sarah said, boring, but they would be so stable and secure. I mean, you might get bored, you might be depressed dealing with them. You might even be lonely, shit, but at least they're stable and secure. All right. And then they can be hella cheap too. Fuck. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm being too, what's the word? Optimistic. All right. How about this? Being very nostalgic. May even travel to see your own home. So have you ever did that? Like, you know, you feeling really nostalgic, and then you go back to where you used to live, and then when you see your own old house, you be all like, oh my God, that old swing set is still in the backyard and stuff. So you might be doing that with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 4th house. Also, concern for the father. Your concerns for your father may increase. Uh-oh, new move, you a Cap. You ain't cheap. You may have to travel to see your father with Jupiter and Capricorn. Esoteric Mommy said, yes, I used to do it all the time. Childhood home, yes. And you could be distancing yourself from your family more in 2020, or even starting now, because Jupiter and Capricorn alone could deal with where there's some distance between you and your family, especially emotional. And then with Jupiter and Capricorn, you might not be showing up next year at Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever, because you just like, I'm over this shit. 5th house. 5th house, you could be taking a vow of celibacy, or you could be going through an extended period of abstinence, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. Now, celibacy and abstinence, there's a difference between the two. Celibacy is done for religious purposes. Abstinence is non-religious. It just means you're abstaining from something. And in the 5th house, you could be abstaining from sex. So those that got Jupiter and Capricorn in their 5th house, y'all might be going through it where you're not getting the sex that you want, or you might just say, you know what, I'm not going to have sex until I get married. Or you know what, you might just be like, you know what, I'm hanging my dick rider hat up at least for a year. I'm going to let my coochie heal, because I've been riding dicks like I am the Lone Ranger, and I'm getting tired of it because none of these dudes are trying to commit with me and nothing. So yeah, you might just get so fed up at that point that you're like, I'm not doing it. But don't be surprised when you're getting all these phone calls for some dick offers and shit, because that's what usually happens. That's how and no, again, Capricorn is about testing. So the minute you say, I'm going to be abstinent, I'm going to be celibate, you know, that's when that fine ass dude, you know, hollers at you. That's when that big butt female is trying to get with you, and she rubbing her ass on you and shit, and you trying to be that celibate person. You trying to do right by God. You trying to be a good person. But you get tested, and the flesh is weak. All right. Also, Jupiter in the 5th. Don't be surprised if an ex tries to come back into your life, an old flame, an old fart, and you will be tempted to entertain this person. Matter of fact, I got a client that got Capricorn in his 5th, and Jupiter hasn't even entered his 5th yet, and already this ex has came back right when Jupiter entered Capricorn. She came back through his family, mind you. She got in touch with the family, y'all, to get to him. And I'm like, that's that Jupiter and Capricorn. So when Jupiter, I was telling him, I was like, when Jupiter enters your 5th house, y'all probably be in a full-fledged relationship. I was like, but don't do it though. Because sometimes, a lot of times, if it didn't work out in the beginning, it's not going to work out the 2nd or 3rd or 4th time around. All right. You could be more self-reliant with Jupiter and Capricorn in your 5th house. You could be more guarded and reserved, especially when it comes to having fun, going out, having a good time. You might be telling your friends no more, because maybe you're working more and you have less time for play. A child, if you got a child may need correction or more discipline or positive reinforcement even. So your child could be running wild this year, and you might have to really, you know, crack the whip on them. Maybe not literally, but some of them kids need a little ass kicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might really have to get a little harder on them, be a little tougher on them with the love, and, you know, set up some type of reward system. Like, look, if you do your homework every night without me having to tell you, then I will take you here on Saturday or whatever like that. But enough is enough. That's how it's going to be with those that got Jupiter and Capricorn. If you got kids, it's going to be time for you to really step it up with the discipline or even positive reinforcement. The painful truth could be revealed about a lover if you got Jupiter and Capricorn in the 5th house. For instance, you find out your lover got a kid across town. Also, having less time for recreation. I already talked about that. 6th house. With that 6th house, you know this isn't really going to be a fun time for those who got Jupiter and Capricorn in the 6th house. Being overworked or working overtime, now that could be good for money-wise, but, you know, your back could be hurting. You know, you could be getting less sleep. You could be, you know, really stressed out on the job. Challenges with getting proper help. Challenges with walking. So Jupiter deals with walking. And when it's in Capricorn, it could deal with where you feel restricted in terms of your walking. It could feel where, you know, walking is very rigid or tight. So there you could end up hurting yourself. Don't be surprised if you fall down a flight of steps with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 6th house. So don't think that you being cute trying to lose weight at work by taking the steps at work with that Jupiter and Capricorn in your 6th house. Almost guarantee you're going to fall down them damn steps. So you better just, you know, use the treadmill, because that shit is no joke. And Jupiter is clumsy anyway. And if we're talking about Capricorn, Capricorn deals with falling. So don't make the mistake. Don't get too ambitious with what you're trying to do. And you men, I know, like, sometimes y'all like to run up the stairs and do 2 steps at a time and shit. Don't do that shit if you got Jupiter and Capricorn, either in your 1st or your 6th. Hell, maybe even in your 12th, you may not want to do that shit. All right, where we at? You could be on a very strict diet with Jupiter and Capricorn transit in your 6th. You could be doing that whole periodic or intermittent fasting, because Capricorn is the sign of fasting. It's the sign where you will deprive yourself of something for a bigger reward later down the line, or you will delay instant gratification for a bigger reward later on down the line. Also, you could end up with a vitamin or mineral deficiency, and this could be as a result of fasting too much. Or you might have restricted certain foods from your diets. Vegans, let me stop. You might have restricted certain foods from your diets, and next thing you know, you have an iron deficiency, and you're wondering why you so cold all the time. You go to the doctor, and they're like, well, you need some more iron in your system. That could be Jupiter and Capricorn. Oh, Golden, you got Jupiter and Capricorn in the 6th. Don't take the stairs. Don't even do it. Connect said, oh, okay, that makes sense. Capricorn is sign of fasting. I fast often 1st house. Me too. Well, I don't do that long-term fast, but I do intermittent fasting. Connect. Oh, and this is perfect for Jupiter and Capricorn in the 6th. Now, while I said don't take the stairs, walking for exercise and fitness, it will be good for you. Or even hiking. Just be careful. Watch your step when you're hiking, because you could trip and fall if you're not careful. So walking for exercise, that could even be on a treadmill, is going to be really good with Jupiter and Capricorn. Oh, I am well versed. I'll talk about Jupiter and Capricorn transiting the 6th house. Some of the things that could happen, some of the things you could do. Also, you could be going through extensive on-the-job training. So you could start a new job, or maybe you're up for a promotion. But before you get that promotion, you got to take like an extensive training. You got to go through an extensive period of training. And that could be Jupiter and Capricorn transiting the 6th house. Oh, now some of this, Angela, could apply. And also, I am well versed. If you have Jupiter and Capricorn natally in the 6th house, some of that could apply to you in terms of your natal. So yes, 7th house. But mainly right now, I'm talking about transits, Jupiter transit. So if Jupiter and Capricorn is transiting your 7th house, you could have a partner or spouse start being more controlling and meaner. Because already, if you got Capricorn in the 7th, you could just have a partner, husband, wife, that's just naturally mean sometimes, and they could really, you know, be very, very controlling. So when Jupiter is passing through your 7th house, they're really going to want to will control over you. You might be all like, who the hell did I marry type person. Also, your partner or spouse may have to shoulder more responsibility. Let's say you end up getting sick. Let's say you have to be at home, and there's a good chance you might be, because you're a Cancer rising. So you got Capricorn on your 7th, Jupiter transiting. You might, you know, fall and hurt your hip. Next thing you know, you out of work for like 6 months or whatever, because, you know, you can't walk or whatever. Now he got to pick up the slack. Now he got to assume more responsibility. Also, your partner or spouse is spending more time out of the home, whether he's working overtime or working on that bitch that he's seeing across town. A legal issue could arise at work. So that could be something that happens. You end up having a legal dispute with your employer. You know, you're going to see a lawyer to see, you know, if you have any legal recourse. Others are demanding more of your time, especially if you have a business or if you're in one of those jobs where, you know, your client base or the customer base fluctuates. Expect to be more busy with clients and stuff with Jupiter in the 7th. Also, you could be making a deal with the devil, and there's different ways you can make a deal with the devil. So just be careful in terms of what contracts you sign, what contractual agreements you enter into with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 7th house. And any contracts that you sign with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 7th, they could be long-term contracts, at least a year. You could be getting back together with an ex with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 7th, or an ex could be begging to get back with you. And it could have been y'all just like the ink on the divorce papers ain't even dry yet. And this fool's still at your doorstep talking about, please take me back type thing. Partner or spouse is working more, gets a better job, or gets promoted. And also a partner goes through an extended period of depression, which can be a real bummer because that's going to affect you. It's going to affect the whole household. It's going to affect the kids, all that type of stuff. All right, 8th house. With the 8th house, the past can come back to haunt you and in some of the worst ways. So, for instance, let's say you were in a relationship, but you got out of the relationship like 2 years ago. And ever since you've been having, you know, some feminine issues and stuff like that. And, you know, you never really trusted your ex like that. And, you know, you go for your yearly pap smear and shit. And next time, you know, you get that abnormal pap smear result and they like, you got genital warts. And then they're like, when's the last time you were sexually active? And you be like, that was the last time I was with so-and-so, you know. I was seeing him for like the past 2 years. I wasn't having sex with nobody else. I didn't have genital warts before I got with this dude. Boom. That's the past coming back to haunt you. Because, you know, you've been broken up with this dude for 2 years. That shit wasn't showing before. Now you got these genital warts. You got the gift that keeps on giving and shit. Now you got to call his ass up, cuss him out and stuff, which brings y'all back together anyway. And since y'all both got genital warts, y'all get back together because y'all like, we both fuck. We might as well start fucking each other again. It's just, it could get ugly with Jupiter Capricorn in the 8th house. Wait, who said, yeah? Golden said, yeah. You know me. You know I got to be all graphic. I got to really drive the point home. But that shit could really happen. All right. How about this? Being compelled to travel for work. Like you don't even want to travel, but now you got to travel. You got to attend this damn boring ass conference. Also, your need for sex could grow stronger. I'm talking about you in the middle of the night, you know, you just hot in bed. Ain't nobody there to scratch that itch that you got. You just like squirming and shit like that. You thinking about your ex, thinking about contacting him because you so sex starved. And Capricorn in the 8th can result in being sex starved. Paying off all your debt. So you could be paying off all your debt this year. You could be hiring a credit repair company. So this is a good time to get your credit in order. Your credit score could increase. So that's a good thing. You could be more disciplined about your spending on credit, especially. You could be learning more about death through direct experience. So it could be a death of a pet. Let's say you got Mercury. Oh man, I'm getting the Holy Spirit right here because I'm thinking about my own cat. Because I think, what was it? It was Mercury. When Mercury transited, when it first entered my 8th house, my cat died. So let's say you got Mercury in your 8th house natally in Capricorn. Lord have mercy. I hope this don't happen to nobody. But when Jupiter lands on that Mercury, your pet might be in an emergency situation. Your pet might die. Your pet might need some medical care, might be on the brink of death or whatever like that. So you could go through some situations where you learn more about the depth about death through direct experience. It could even, be your father, because Capricorn deals with fathers. So yeah, I'm just, first of all, a lot of y'all already know how messed up that 8th house is. And I keep it real. And death is a major theme of that 8th house. So I'm just saying, Jupiter, yes, Jupiter is that greater benefic, it's that fortunate planet and stuff, but never forget, Jupiter will also just increase what's already there. So if we're talking about the 8th house and Capricorn in the 8th and Jupiter just transiting through, that whole theme of experiencing death in the very real sense of the word will be augmented with Jupiter transiting that 8th house. So yes, but that can make you stronger too, because maybe you'll find out that, through the death of a pet, maybe it'll let you know that I feel like life does go on. I feel like, like this isn't just all that there is for life, because I still feel a little Fuzzy or Rover or little Trixie around me. I still feel them. And like I told, like some of y'all know, my cat died back in 2018. And every now and then I will have a dream about him. And I know it's his spirit coming to visit me, coming to let me know that, he still thinks about me and stuff. I'll never forget, I had this one dream where I was just sitting Indian style, and my cat just came and sat in my lap. And I knew, like, that just brought me comfort when I woke up and remembered that dream. You remember my cat Rendezvous? Yeah, that was my sweetheart. So that was very hard. And like I said, the day that Mercury entered my 8th house, and Mercury rules pets, and Mercury was in Leo, and Leo rules cats, my cat died the same day that Mercury was entering my 8th house. And it was the morning that he died, the moon was on my Taurus South node in the 4th house. So when I say that 8th house is no joke, it's no joke. Okay. Also, you could be more disciplined about spending on, I already said that. You could, okay, this is a real positive thing. You could end up getting a big tax refund, or on the negative, you could end up having a big tax obligation, especially if you have a business. So if you're running a business, you could end up having a nice tax refund, or you could end up having a big tax bill. So it's really depending on what Jupiter is going to be doing when it's in your 8th house, what it's going to be aspecting. You could be going into debt to fund a business. All right, 9th house. You could be taking an important test. Again, Capricorn deals with tests. So, you could be taking the SAT if you're a teenager, like going to college. You could be taking the medical boards. What is that called when you're taking a test to get your medical license? Could be taking tests to get your nursing license or whatever like that. You could be going through a professional growth spurt. So this could be a good year for you in terms of professional growth. You could be completing a degree program. Also, there could be a need to be more disciplined with your studies. Thank you, Wellness. Do you have a question? Also, you could be having more clout. So this is where you could be gaining more clout. You could also realize a dream or aspiration, because Capricorn deals with what's real. You could be traveling far for a job interview. Also, this is the tell the truth, shame the devil transit. So when Jupiter is transiting your 9th house in Capricorn, you'll be faced with some situations where it's like tell MSAT. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Ricardo. MSAT. You could be facing some situations where it's like you got to tell the truth and shame the devil. And what that means is it might be tempting to lie, especially to protect somebody's feelings or to keep the peace or whatever. But through lying, you're probably going to make things worse. So you might as well just tell the truth and shame the devil. Also, you could be enrolling in an employer-sponsored degree program. So your employer could be paying for your college education. 10th house. 10th house with Jupiter transiting the 10th, you're going to be commanding more respect. All right, let me stop and do this reading. Wellness said, when is my daughter getting married and having a baby? Oh, that's going to be kind of rough, because you're asking 2 life-altering questions in one. And really, I would need to answer this when I have time via email. So, Wellness, send me an email But I will still pull a card, at least about the marriage. Or baby. Pick which one. Because, you know, she could get married but not have a baby. Oh, no, I spelled it wrong. I spelled karma. It's karma. She could, you know, she could get married, but it could take years for her to have a baby. And I'm pretty sure she's going to get married first. So I'm going to look and see, will she be married within the next 5 years? Oh, you want to know baby? Okay. Let's say, will she be having a baby in the next 5 years? Will your daughter be having a baby in the next 5 years? And she's a Gemini and she's a 1. So the theme of children is going to be very dominant in her life, being as though she's a 1. So let me see. Uh-oh, here come my daughter to tell me to get off. All right, I'm getting off. I just got to finish. I'm coming. Okay, death. This is one of them tricky 1 cards because death could mean a life-changing circumstance. What did I say? Would she be having a baby in 5 years? I'm seeing that as a no, though. I'm seeing that as a clear no. Because if it was yes, it wouldn't be the death card. It would be a card more conducive to either pregnancy or having children. So my answer is no. But email me for more insight into this situation with the marriage and all that, since you super chatted me basically $15. Thank you so much. But yeah, 5 years from now, I don't see her having a baby. All right. Ethereal said, told the truth and shamed the devil this morning. Funny stuff. Hell yeah. Sometimes you got to be like that. Okay. So 10th house, you could be commanding more respect, receiving more recognition. Your hard work is starting to pay off. Your business takes off. You could be experiencing growth in business. You could be working more hours, though. Being trusted with a higher level of responsibility, professional development. Like this is as good as it gets. Almost with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 10th house. Like if you're not making this shit work with Jupiter and Cap in the 10th, I don't know what to tell you. You ain't working hard enough. You can't handle the truth. Like basically, if you can't work this shit out with Jupiter and Capricorn, look, with Capricorn in the 10th, you already set up to, you know, it's kind of like the table's already set for you in terms of career and business. Now, your Saturn could be in a messed up sign, could be jacked up with other planets or whatever. But Jupiter should help you out transiting your 10th house in Capricorn. So I really don't want to hear no excuses from y'all that got this placement. Now, work-related travel, that's another possibility, like other areas in the chart. Professional development, I said that's like Jupiter in the 9th. Being more ambitious, but you could be more concerned about your mother. Maybe your mother is going through an illness. Maybe she's going through a divorce. Maybe she's going through some hard time financially. So, you know, your generosity could be tested with respect to your mother. Your mother might be, you know, in your pockets a little bit. She might be like, you know, can I hold $500? You know, I need to get a new bedroom set. And you like, well, Mom, nothing wrong with your bedroom set. Yeah, but my back be hurt. I need a new bed. And you be like, all right. So yeah, you might be talking to your mom more. You might have to travel to go see her if you live apart from her. All right, 11th house. Lil said, my mom be in my pocket. What you got, Capricorn in the 10th? Adriana said, Jupiter will be in my 10th house in January 2020. How do I make the best of this transit? Well, you keep moving on up to the east side. So you got to be like the Jeffersons. You got to move on up and not take no for an answer. And if you're not getting the due respect you need to get at your current job, you need to think about going elsewhere at this point. For real. Siobhan said, here we go with this air mattress ball. You'll float, right? You'll be all right, Mom. All right, let's see. 11th house. 11th house. Jupiter in Capricorn transiting your 11th. You're going to find out who your true friends are, for real. Because there are going to be some times where you might need to lean on a friend or whatever, and that friend ain't there. And then you start to realize, wait a minute, this friend only called me when they need something. Because first of all, you got Capricorn in the 11th house. you already got issues with friends. And sometimes you don't got no friends. And sometimes the friends you got would be these old ass coworkers and shit. So it's like already your friendship thing is kind of jacked up with Capricorn in the 11th. Unless you're just one of those business type people where your friendships are your business associates. That's kind of different. But with Jupiter, you know, Jupiter is going to bring out the truth. Jupiter opens things up. So you're going to find out who your true friends are. You might have some of your friends being even more opportunistic and exploitative to you, like calling you up whenever they need something. But if you just need a sympathetic ear or you need to just talk to somebody, they don't got time for you. So yeah. So also with the 11th, you could be experiencing a big push forward. And it could be through no doing of your own, like, things just happen for you. And now, you've taken this leap forward because, the universe has set things up that way for you. Of course, you're going to be more concerned about your future. You could be going through, hey, Sarah. Let me see. Thank you. Wait a minute. What did you say? You said, will Jupiter be in Capricorn? Yes, it will. So it'll be in Capricorn for a whole year. Jupiter will be in Capricorn. So there'll be plenty of time to, use this to your advantage. All right. So professional networking, that's very good for Jupiter in Capricorn in your 11th house. You could go through a prolonged time period between you and your friend. You could be facing the cold, hard truth in some respects. You could be more discriminating with respect to your friendships, associations, and even on social media. So you might, start unfollowing certain social media personalities. You might start removing yourself from certain groups on social media because you're going to get more serious about who you associate with. And that can even include online. You might even decide to create your own blog online. You might decide to create a YouTube channel with that Jupiter and Capricorn, but more than likely you're going to do it for business purposes. Thank you so much, Golden. More than likely you're going to do it for business purposes as opposed to, just doing it for fun. You could be getting an increase in government entitlement benefits. So people that get SSI, or they get some type of government entitlement benefit, they could have Capricorn in their 11th house because the 10th house deals with the government and the 11th house deals with the government's money. Or you can even say the 10th house deals with a corporation and the 11th house deals with their money. So that could even deal with a workers' compensation money that you might be getting with this Jupiter and Capricorn in the 11th house. All right. Last but not least, 12th house. If anybody has Jupiter transiting their 12th house in Capricorn, God help you. No, I'm just playing. It's not like that. But you could become aware of wolves in sheep's clothing with Jupiter in Capricorn transiting your 12th house. Hey, Chelsea. Yes, my birthday is actually tomorrow, but East Coast time, it's already midnight. Hey, it's my birthday on the East Coast. But yeah, I don't really get into my birthday like that. I've never really been the type of person that really likes a lot of attention, especially when it's like, attention like for your birthday and stuff like that. I'd be like, all right, oh, thank you. I'm just really like shy and stuff, and I'm really humble when it comes to stuff like that. So thank you for all the birthday wishes. Really means a lot to me. And I definitely ain't going live tomorrow for my birthday because that's just too much attention. Like I'm like, I can't do it. A secret is outed, and it could be at work. So, and it could be some workplace scandal going on. Also, you could be relieved of responsibility with Jupiter and Capricorn in the 12th. Look, there's some people that got Capricorn in the 12th. They don't even got to work. So there might not even be some situation dealing with work because you're the same way, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Johanna. Thank you, Pisces Moon. So yeah, you got some people with Capricorn in the 12th. They don't even work. Or some of them will be so successful at the early part of their life that they can retire early. So some people with Jupiter and Capricorn, they might be 45 years old. They might be 50 years old and they're already retiring. Also, you could be needing more alone time with Jupiter and Capricorn transiting your 12th house, but you could be leaving yourself open to be exploited. Also, you could be slacking more at work. That's if you do have a job. You could be receiving a reality check. There could be swelling of your knee or joints with Jupiter transiting that 12th house. And there could be an extended hospital stay. So either it's you, it could be your father, it could be just where you're at a hospital, maybe for a day, for a week or whatever like that, because you're there at the bedside of a loved one. So that's Jupiter through the houses. So I hope y'all found that insightful and enlightening. And before I go, and know that this is only part 1. So I'll be doing part 2, Sagittarius live stream within a week or so. I'm just so glad to be back on YouTube because I had to quarantine myself because I had to catch up on some work. So every now and then I got to do that. I got to quarantine myself and get a lot of work done. And that's why a lot of times you don't see me on Facebook. I'm a Capricorn rising Amazonian. So before I leave though, oh, damn. I can't leave yet. There's a couple of things I have to do because I did promise this one chick that I would do this reading for her. So I'll do that. But before I do that, I do want to talk about Mr. Billy D. Williams. Like me and my student, Hood Astro Queen, some of y'all know her, some of y'all follow her, some of y'all subscribe to her channel. We were talking about Mr. Billy D. Williams, Mr. Colt 45, and like this whole gender fluid thing. What's up, Billy D? Talking about he's always been like sweet or something, always been like feminine. Now he is a 6, y'all. He's a 6, so that does make him very much in touch with his feminine energy. Even though, wait a minute, ain't this due to Aries? Wait a minute, let me see this. Where's old Billy? Oh my God. What happened to it? Hold on, let me pull up his chart again. But see, I'm always skeptical. So my thing is, why did he feel it necessary? Wait a minute, don't tell me I didn't save his chart with my thing. Oh, hell no. Wait a minute, I don't even think I pulled his chart. I think it was Hood Astro Queen showing me his chart. Wait a minute, what's his sun sign? Ain't he an Aries? Wait a minute. See, Pearl, he slept with what you call it? He slept with Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando slept with everybody. But Mr. Colt 45 works every time. Yeah, I'm sure it does with you being gender fluid. But I'm trying to think what was some of his placements? I know he has Jupiter in Capricorn, so he's going through his Jupiter return. So Billy D. Williams got that Jupiter. Okay, so yes, he is an Aries, but he's a 6, which means that he's a refined Aries. He's in touch with his feminine side Aries. And don't he got something in Aquarius? Wait a minute, I got to pull him up real quick. Billy D. Colt 45 works every time. First of all, this is what I was going to say. First of all, ain't nobody checking for Billy D. Williams. I'm like, who told this old dude to come out the woodwork? I'm like, is he trying to get a movie deal or something? Is that why he's, talking about he's gender fluid and all that? I'm like, Grandpa, nobody cares. Like, nobody cared about you since Mahogany. Actually, I guess Lady Sings the Blues came after that. I don't know which one came first, but who was checking for Billy D. Williams? Really? You know what I'm saying, New Move? So I'm like, what is it? Why did you come out all of a sudden now? You trying to get into one of Tyler Perry's movies or some shit? Medea turns around or something. Medea backs it up. Lil say he looks like a warthog. Lil, you always talk about how somebody look like something. I was thinking he kind of looked like Chewbacca. And you know, he did play in Star Wars with Harrison Ford. Yes, Bobby. Tyler Perry created his own Hollywood. Awkward Letter said he gonna be in massive movies, shirtless and covered in baby oil. Oh, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine with pinching his nipples and everything. Ali said, what is the true reality of Capricorn return? Is it, you mean Saturn return? You said I have heard conflicting opinions and effects. Please speak on this. Well, everybody's Saturn return is different. Some people don't have it that bad for their Saturn returns, especially if you got Saturn in a sign that it already rules, like Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn in Aquarius. Unless Saturn is badly afflicted, or you could say in bad shape aspect-wise in the chart, then you could have a really challenging Saturn return. But I've seen some people where that Saturn return passes them by and they rarely don't even, like, they barely notice it. But I've seen other people where they are absolutely like hammered by their Saturn return. I've seen people where they die in their Saturn return, or you know, they get in some bad accident during the Saturn return, or they lose their job, or you know, they go through some bad battle with addiction with that Saturn return. So it really depends upon the individual person. Sometimes it can be okay, and it can just mean that now you got to achieve a higher level of responsibility, and it can mean that you got this great job now, but you have less time to spend to yourself. You got less personal time. But sometimes that Saturn return can take your ass out of here. Cameron said the curse of 27. Yes, that 27 club, where some people don't even make it to that exact Saturn return point. But at age 27, Saturn is creeping up upon your natal Saturn. So yeah, like for some people, it's no joke. For other people, they could skate right through it like it ain't nothing. So it really depends upon the condition of your Saturn and your natal chart. That's how you're going to be able to determine if it's going to be a walk in the park, or if it's going to be some situation that's just going to take you out, take you down to Chinatown, make you feel like, you know, you just at rock bottom, whatever. So my Saturn return was pretty rough, but it had some blessings in disguise. I'll say that. Wait a minute. Awkward Letter said old men be whipping their dicks out at the assistant living nurses. That's why I gave up on the OT in college. Now, Jupiter returns, usually you're not really even going to like notice them. They're going to go by with maybe even not so much as a whimper. But what they are symbolizing, they're symbolizing a new 12-year cycle of your life. And that cycle could be a cycle of growth and development. So you could look at it that way. And whatever sign your Jupiter is in, it could be representing what type of growth and development. Same with the house. Like, where are you growing? Where are you developing during that next 12-year cycle of your life? Oh, you're welcome. All right, let me get to this reading, because I said I would do her reading real quick. I hope it's I could do it real quick. I'm gonna call her Be Merry, because it is that merry time. We are in that merry season. So Be Merry, she's a Pisces, and let me just read what she wrote. So Be Merry, if you're watching this, what's up? If you're not watching this, I'll email you later and tell you that this is close to the end of the live stream. Now, she said, first, I would like to say how I am a big fan of your YouTube channel, and you are very gifted and talented. Well, thank you, Be Mary. She said, I wanted to reach out to you because I am out of a job again, and my life is consistently unstable because I can't keep a job for anything, and my love life is non-existent since my previous abusive ex. I'm 31 years old. She's a Pisces. I have Saturn in my 7th house, and she's a Cancer rising. Wait a minute. She said she got Saturn in her 7th house. I see you being a Cancer rising. Let me see. But I don't see Saturn in your I think what you meant is you got Capricorn in your 7th house, which means that you're going to be one of the ones where you're going to have that Jupiter transit, but it's not going to be until much later of 2020 because it's at the 26th degree. So Jupiter is really going to be doing a lot of work in your 6th house. Now with Jupiter transiting your 6th, if you can't get your ass a job with that, like Jupiter is already in your 6th house. It's on your Uranus. You should be able to get a job right now, honestly. And I know I'm sounding kind of preachy and stuff, but Pisces can be preachy in and of itself. So it's like I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. But Jupiter is now in your 6th. It's been in your 6th house for a while, since October. Now it's in Capricorn in your 6th house. If you can't get a job, it's on your Uranus and Saturn. If you can't get a job within the next 2 weeks, then you got to really examine yourself and look at what you're doing. Look at how you're shooting yourself in the foot in terms of your employment opportunities, because Jupiter and Capricorn in the 6th, that's the perfect hookup for getting a new job or getting a better job. So let me just consult the cards, because you said, I've been out of work with my mother's support for 2 months and I always have issues with authority. That's because you got Uranus conjoined to your Saturn, conjoined to your Mars and Neptune. That's why you got issues with authority. But you're going to have to learn how to be in subservient positions because you got Capricorn in your 6th house. That's just the way it has to be. You got to learn how to relinquish control. You got that Pisces North Node, so you got to learn how to let go and let God. You got to learn how to get out of your own way a lot of times. Now, you said, when will I get another job? I'm telling you, you need to get another job this month with that Jupiter in your 6th house on your Uranus and Saturn, and then it's going to land on your Mars. When Jupiter lands on your Mars, I'm about to tell you when that's going to be. If you don't have a job by then, and I want you to follow up with me too, because if you don't have a job by then, I'm going to be kind of annoyed with you, because that means that you're not trying hard enough. I just got to be real with you. I love you, but I just got to be real. And sometimes you got to be real with Pisces like this. You got to like kind of be kind of hard with them, because, you know, they're used to being coddled, kind of like how Cancer can be coddled. But, you know, a lot of times people will be extra delicate with Pisces, and, you know, I don't want to tell them this, you know, like that, because, you know, I know how sensitive they are. But I'm telling you, with this transit coming up, that's going to be December 12th, 2019, that Jupiter is going to land on your Mars. That should be around the time. If you're not getting called for an interview, you should, Sarah, be nice, Sarah. If you're not getting called for an interview, you should at least have a bunch of applications in by December 12th. Now I'm going to see if you're going to get a job before the end of December. Now you are at a rough spot because it is the holidays, and, you know, a lot of companies may not be hiring except for like the holiday season type work, but we're going to see. And sometimes Pisces, you know, you could be a little bit too idealistic, where you think that you're above certain types of work, and you can't be like that. Okay. So I did a 4-card reading. The situation is the devil. That's you being trapped right now. That's you being tied to your mother in terms of support. But it's also telling me that this is part of your doing as well. The reason why you're stuck in this predicament where you can't find a job. It's almost like you're your own worst enemy. The challenge card is the 7 of Pentacles. This is about you choosing from several options available. I'm almost certain that you've passed up certain job opportunities because either you thought you were too good for them, or you thought that, you know, maybe the pay was a little bit too low or whatever. At this point, with Jupiter in your 6th house, you got to take what you can basically get and then move up from there. 5 of Wands. This is a card that could represent an interview process. So again, I said, would you be getting a new job before, or I said by the end of December? This 5 of Wands is the advice card. So it's showing that you may not have, I don't think you're going to have a job by the end of December, but you're at least going to be in the running. You're going to be in the competition. This is a competition card. You're going to be going up against other people for certain jobs. You're going to be at least going on one interview. And here's the outcome. This is a good indication that you are going to get a job soon. This card can represent the new year. So it looks like you will be getting a new job more than likely around the start of the new year. So, but that's if you're willing to put the work behind it. Like, you can't just say, you know, put your hands up and claim that you can't get a job if you're not doing everything you can to make it happen. So if you change your perspective now and you really just start putting your resume out there, even in places where you haven't considered yet, or jobs where you might feel like the pay is a little bit low, do whatever you can now to just get a job. Once you got a job, you know how much easier it is to get a better job or another job. What's hard is when you're trying to get a job and you don't have no job. It's always easier. Y'all tell me, ain't I right? It's always easier to get another job when you currently have a job. It tends to be harder to get a job when you don't have a job already. So, yeah. So it looks like you got a lot of work ahead of you. So this month, again, just be putting your resume out all over the place, filling out online applications. Like I said, you probably will go on at least one interview, but you probably won't be working until the beginning of January. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull another card. Are you going to be working in January? And then I got to go, y'all, for real. But next time, I'm going to be turned up for real, because I first started off being it's this damn Jupiter in Capricorn. That's what it is. Because when I was talking about Jupiter in Capricorn, I was getting like really serious. And then she also wanted to know about her love life. Now with Capricorn on that 7th house cusp, your love life could be rather bleak at times. You got the Fool card for, are you going to be working in January? So that's a yes, because the Fool can represent new beginnings, including a new job. So again, if you do everything in your power to change your situation in December, come the new year, you're going to be in a much better position to get a job, and you will get a job. But you also wanted to know, my question is, when will I find a successful, happy partnership in love? Because I haven't been intimate in 3 years. Girl, you and me both. Join the club. And most importantly, will I, oh, you already said that, will I get another job? So you said, when will I find a successful, happy partnership in love? Because I haven't been intimate. So you got Capricorn on your 7th. You got Saturn in Capricorn and your 6th. Conjoined to Uranus. See, this is the reason why you've been single for 3 years, and you could be single for 3 more years unless you start making it a point to purposely go out and find men. And like, I'm talking about going maybe to some type of lounge or to some type of nightclub or wherever the hell you could find available men. That's the only way you're going to do it. If you think you're going to sit at home and somehow, some way you're going to meet some man whenever you go out to the grocery store or whatever, it's not going to happen, because the way your chart is set up, you're set up to be alone for a long period of time, but it could be for a good reason. And first of all, I wouldn't even be thinking about relationships and love until you get on top of that job situation. That's the most important right now. But again, you could be single for another 3 years with this hookup, Capricorn in the 7th, Saturn ruling the 7th at the Aries point of Capricorn, mind you. Could join to Uranus, this could join to Mars. You could throw Neptune in the mix. That's almost like the man that's for you right now is locked up somewhere. And I'm saying symbolically, I mean, he could be in prison. You never know. But it's like he's locked away somewhere. You can't get him. And the only way to get him is to really focus on your career, focus on your work. Hell, you might meet this man at your next job because you got Saturn ruling the 6th. I'm sorry, Saturn ruling the 7th, being in the 6th. That makes it very easy to attract a potential mate through your line of work. So focus on work, 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 and the relationship will come next, because it's very tied closely to each other with this hookup you got going on. And have faith. That's very important, because you got that Pisces North Node. So you got to have faith that the universe has a plan for you. And that even includes being in the right type of relationship, but at the right time. See, Capricorn deals with time. So it's like you got to do everything in due time. And Capricorn will require you to be patient. So focus on your career. Focus on getting that money. Focus on getting off your mama's tit. so she can relax and live her life, and you can feel better about yourself. And then once you get on top of your money situation, once you got that stable job, love probably will come, and it can come more than likely through your job. He might even be your supervisor or manager. You never know. You are prone to attract men that are much older than you. So if you've been dealing with these young boys, it ain't gonna work. And you ain't even that young. But yeah, if you're dealing with people your own age, men your own age, you might want to like go up a little bit more in terms of age. But I got to get out of here. I just want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes, the birthday donations. If you happen to send me a super chat or cash app for a question, I didn't get to it, please send me an email. Here's my email address right here. Did you send me a cash app donation, Bill Clinton, or super chat? Because if it's a general question, I really don't have time. I gotta go. Here's my website if you would like to order a reading. And then here is my link for my New Year's Eve party. And again, that's going to be on New Year's Eve, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It comes with a personalized mini forecast. What was your question, Bill Clinton? New Move said, thank you again for taking the time. Peace and many blessings, Rahbinah, and enjoy your day. Thank you so much, New Move. Thank you, Angela. Bill, post your question again, because I got to go. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your night. Stay warm. I know some of y'all, where some of y'all live, it's getting real cold. It's getting icy, snow. So you said you have Jupiter in the 7th house. Thank you so much, Siobhan. Thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you, New Move. So Jupiter in your 7th house, what sign is it in? Jupiter in the 7th house alone can deal with where, you know, your partner is going to want a lot of freedom. Your partner may expect a lot of you. Thank you, my Bills. Thank you, Cameron. So your partner may expect too much of you at times. Also, there could be an issue with religious beliefs and your partnership or marriage. Also, that's a relocation aspect. So you could, especially if Jupiter is in contact with the moon. Thank you so much, Sarah. I'll get to your question. Oh, no, you already asked me the question. I think I answered it, but if not, send me an email. It can deal with relocation if it's in contact with your moon or a planet in your 4th house. That Jupiter in the 7th. Did you tell me what sign it was in? That Jupiter in the 7th can also mean that you end up in an interracial relationship or in a relationship with somebody from another country. They could be of a different culture, nationality. So you said you have Jupiter, Moon, South Node, and Taurus in the 7th house. So there's definitely going to be money issues in terms of a marriage or partnership, especially if you live with that person, even if you're not married. If you happen to get married, she might be spending up all your money. She might be just spending up way too much money. She might care too much about money with that. She might be very superficial as well. So as well as being extremely stubborn, because you also got to throw into the fact that your South Node and your moon is in Taurus. Now, that Taurus South Node, you're going to have some money problems. And since it's in the 7th house with Jupiter, it will come through a partner or other people that you form deals with, partnerships with. So even when it comes to a business partnership, you got to be really careful. Ali, I got a root beer, a half-drunken root beer in my refrigerator. I can't wait to drink it. And I'm going to the store tonight, so I'll probably pick up another soda because I earned it tonight. But yeah. So basically, that Jupiter in Taurus, it can also deal with where you're handling other people's money or you're working in terms of other people's money. With that Jupiter in Taurus in the 7th house, it can also mean that you marry up. You could end up marrying somebody that has a lot of money. But again, that could still be a major bone of contention. But thank you so much, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Like I said, Thank you for the birthday donations, those that donated. And I will be back soon with some more videos with part 2 of the Sagittarius live stream. Peace and many blessings, y'all.